Authorities are investigating after a 30-year-old woman was found fatally shot. At 2:19 a.m. on Friday the 28th of July, authorities responded to North Village Shopping Centre at 6877 Dorchester Road in North Charleston, South Carolina on reports of a person shot. When officers arrived, they were flagged down by a crowd in the parking lot outside the Blue Maroon restaurant and found an unresponsive woman on the ground with a gunshot wound, with people attempting CPR on her. Medics arrived and took over performing life-saving measures and transported the woman to Centre Point Emergency Room, where she died at 2:57 a.m. The Charleston County coroner identified the victim as Mayor Jennifer Simmons of Ladson. No arrests have been made to date, and the motive of the attack is unclear as the investigation into the matter continues. A 31-year-old man was fatally shot during an album release party. At around 3:25 a.m. on Saturday the 29th of July, authorities responded to the Exquisite event space at 1890 East Parkway in Brooklyn, New York on reports of a shooting. When officers arrived, they found Cameron Hall of East Flatbush with gunshot wounds to his chest. He was rushed to the Brookdale University Hospital in a critical condition, but he could not be saved. Guests were celebrating the release of a Caribbean musician's newest release. The name of the performer has not been disclosed. The celebration included a mini concert. Witnesses told police that Cameron got into an argument with another man. As the dispute escalated, the suspect pulled a gun and fired several shots, hitting Cameron in the upper torso. The music at the club immediately stopped and the gunman fled the scene. Neighbours reported hearing fighting and screaming at the noisy party before police arrived. No arrests have been made to date, as the investigation into the matter continues. A 37-year-old man was fatally shot while trying to break up a fight between two women outside a bar. At around 4:30 a.m. on Saturday the 29th of July, authorities responded to 772 Richmond Terrace in New Brighton, Staten Island, New York on reports of a disturbance. When officers arrived, they found a man identified as Rasheem Flanders on the ground outside the Shakers Bar, in a critical condition with a gunshot wound. First responders rushed Rasheem to Richmond University Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. Authorities learned that Rasheem was leaving the bar when he spotted two women fighting outside. When he intervened to quell the fight, another man came forward and shot him in the head. The two women remained on scene, however the gunman ran away. Detectives are reviewing surveillance footage from the area that can help them identify the gunman. Rasheem lived in Hill Street in Clifton, less than 3 miles away from the shooting scene. Rasheem's mother, Jane Atkins Moyen, said that he didn't make a habit of hanging out at the bars, and that he could usually be found at home most nights with his two sons aged 9 and 3. Raheem got a tattoo the afternoon prior to the fatal shooting that read the words "Life Eternal." His mother said that was an affirmation of his belief in the afterlife. No arrests have been made to date, as the investigation into the matter continues. Myron Faith Bowie is wanted by police after setting his girlfriend on fire and threatening to kill her family. At 4:47 a.m. on Sunday the 30th of July, authorities responded to a home in the 24,500 block of 86th Place in Kenosha, Wisconsin after a woman rang 911 to say a boyfriend had set her on fire and that she needed help. Medics arrived on scene and transported the victim to a local hospital with severe burns. Authorities learnt that Myron and his girlfriend had an argument, where Myron told his girlfriend that he'll kill her, her children and her entire family. He then set her on fire and drove away. Myron remains on the run and is wanted for attempted homicide. The investigation into the matter continues. 73-year-old Rodney Lee will spend the rest of his days behind bars after fatally shooting his neighbours 62-year-old Sormatu Gassio and 57-year-old Tibor Laszlo for turning off a tap. On Monday the 31st of July 2023, Rodney was sentenced to 30 years in prison after he admitted to the double homicide. The shooting occurred on the night of the 13th of January 2022 at their apartment complex at 10 McDonald Street in Mordialloc, Victoria, Australia. Rodney was retired and had no family or friends, but he took a great interest in gardening and had taken upon himself to care for and nurture the gardens in the common areas of the complex. He would often leave the hose running to water the plants. He had increasing disagreements with several of his neighbours about leaving the tap running in the garden, as well as his concerns about others making too much noise, or accusations that some were making or doing drugs. On the day of the shooting, Rodney returned to the hose to find it had been turned off. Rodney shouted in anger, "If you turn the hose off again, you bastards, I'll fucking kill you." As a result of his outburst, A heated exchange with another neighbour ended when Rodney struck the man with a chair. Later that night, Rodney went to move the garden hose to find it had been turned off again. Salvatore and Tibor were part of a group socialising in the common area at the time. Rodney confronted the group when Salvatore commented to Rodney that water is precious. Rodney then went to his apartment, grabbed a shotgun hidden under his bed, and returned to shoot Salvatore in the upper arm and chest. He then followed Salvatore and neighbours trying to help the injured man into another apartment, where he shot Tibor in the chest. Rodney also fired shots into another apartment. Police responded to the scene, and after a brief standoff, Rodney was arrested. Paramedics arrived and pronounced Salvatore and Tibor dead at the scene. While interviewed by police, Rodney confessed to killing the men, but expressed no regret or remorse in his actions, and perceived himself to be a victim. "I've been provoked a bit, haven't I?" he asked police.